Welcome everybody to episode 04 of the Unmotivated podcast. This is an episode I've been looking out for since the conception of this, because our guest today is whom I envisioned this originally with, not like having her as a guest, because she has been a big motivation for me to start this content creation journey. So I think it's gonna be a good one. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready for this one. This one has been very hyped up on social media, and well, without further ado, let's go for it. All right, Miss Nicari, thank you so much for being with me today. As I was telling the audience, I don't know if you knew, but despite the podcast being called Unmotivated, you are the big motivation on why I've kind of started doing gaming content.
Let's go.
And I know you hate saying this, but I am such a big fan and have been a big fan of you for the longest time. I know you hate it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I admire your work ethic and is perseverance the word in English? I don't even know.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And your perseverance. So yeah, you have been a big part on kind of putting together this little thing. I actually envisioned this thinking like, hey, maybe I'll get her on here one day, and turns out you were the one that asked me instead of me having to ask you. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys don't know Nicari, you're living under a rock, first of all. Second of all, she has been doing this for a very long time, with hiatus, as have we all. But I feel a special attraction to her because she's kind of like contemporary with me. Not only like we're the same age, but kind of when I used to do the sniping thing back in the day. She was one of the people I followed, and then for some reason 10 years later, last year, I saw her tweet of her going live, and I'm like, she exists. And then I click on her stream, and then almost 2 years later, I keep bothering her, but welcome.
You don't bother me.
Welcome in, Nicari.
Blaze bothers me. No, I'm just playing.
No.
No, he's staying catching strays.
Bro, Blaze cannot catch a break. I swear to God. But yeah, no, welcome in, Nicari. It's an absolute pleasure having you here. I hope, this lives up to the expectation that I have on my mind, because I'm actually nervous. This is
no need to be nervous.
Fourth episode, and I'm actually today is the first day that I've kind of had the butterflies,
Oh.
But yeah, welcome in. Please introduce yourself for those of you that don't know.
My name's Nicari. I'm a gamer, streamer, content creator, chatter, shit talker, all the above. Impression farmer, whatever you want to call me.
While I was doing research for this episode, I went back on I stalked you. You would not believe the things that I've seen in the past, but I think the shit talker thing has always been present.
Yep.
Because back then you have not changed. That part has not changed. But yeah, no, I think it's cool that you're still here, because a lot of the people back then kind of, they grew up,
well, I almost wasn't. I took a 6-7 year break, and
that's what we're going into. That's what we're going into. So help me put the timeline together. Nicari, when did you start? How did the video game passion kind of start? Walk us through the story.
So when we're all young, everybody, just is a gamer, Nintendo, Game Boy Color, PSP, and then the PlayStation, the GameCube, the Dreamcast. So I was always a gamer because I had my dad was a gamer, my two stepbrothers and a real brother, and I always wanted to be involved, so I'd play, video games with them. And then we started playing Halo 3 specific, well, 2 and 3, but 3 was when I just really started like falling in love with it. And then started playing Call of Duty. And then randomly one day in Modern Warfare 2, the original one, Scrapyard, I think it was TDM, I was sniping. And on the other team, there was a girl named Chelsea who was also sniping. And we started talking, and then we teamed up and we became like besties for like the next few years. And then we met some other guys. We met specifically who like started sparking my content creation thing was FaZe Maxim, and I think he was in, what was he in at the time? He was in a sniping team called, his name was Limits. So then we came like the group of 4 that would always like, you know, play together and start sniping. And then I started making sniping montages. That's where I started with the content. And then I went into funnies and fails, which is kind of what I'm still doing, but you know, more modern with the gaming and stuff. But yeah, did that through middle school and high school. And then I kind of let people around me talk me out of doing it. Like they made me feel kind of embarrassed to do it. And my parents made me think like, this is a waste of your time. So you shouldn't really be spending this much time doing it. So I went to college, kind of left all my gaming equipment at home. 2 years into college, I was like, why do I still own this stuff? I don't even touch it. Like my Xbox, my Astros, my HD PVR, my Elgato, my gaming controllers, sold literally everything except for like my console and like a default controller. And then, you know, went into college, you know, I'm 4 years in, and then I started having more free time, and my friends in college were all like playing Fortnite. They were playing like, you know, different games. And I was like, you know what, like we can play together. Like, let me go home, grab my console. I brought it to college. We started playing Fortnite again, like in my college dorm. And then that actually got me into gaming again. And then COVID hit, went home. We were all locked in, started playing Modern Warfare 19 with Chelsea again. And then Chelsea introduced me to her other gaming friends, and they all had PCs. So they were like, why don't you get a PC? It's so much better than console. So then in November of 2020, they helped me get a PC, build a PC. And then I was like, I should start streaming again, because I used to stream back in the day. So I started streaming again, and then boom.
And then here we are.
That's when everything started happening again.
Yo, big shout out to Chelsea, because she made it happen twice. She kind of made it happen. Like, she was the enabler twice.
Yeah, she was my grinding buddy. We played like literally like every day.
W Chelsea though. That's cool. That's a very interesting story. I think it's cool that a lot of the guests that I've had here all took advantage of the pandemic. Kind of like everything kind of started from there.
Got us into gaming again, because we all kind of like forgot about it. Like we were just caught up in, you know, life. It kind of just brought my love for it back. So
yeah, something you mentioned that I find very interesting is, and that I really can relate to, is that when you took your break back in the day when you were going, you know, like into college, you said you got talked out of it. And I think that's something that was kind of common in our generation. Like the people that kind of were in the scene around then that don't do it anymore. It's just kind of that. It's just kind of like after high school, everything was different, and it wasn't viewed as not only as common, but as kind of normal as it is today.
Yeah, and for everybody that's like gonna see this, that doesn't know, when we're mentioning high school and back then, we're talking like 2012,
Yeah,
2013. Like, I'm 26 years old now, so this was way back then. This isn't recent. So
yeah, no, exactly. We're talking about 20, like kind of when like the face boom era. That's what we're talking about. Like the L camps, you know, when L camps were still being produced. But and yeah, I think I can relate up until that point, because when I was in my senior year, I sold everything as well. I sold my 360. I never even got the old gen consoles, like the next gen consoles at that time. I sold my 360, I sold my PVR, and I just, you know, moved on with my life. But it's pretty cool that Chelsea kind of, you know, just kind of, well, it was different like things, but Chelsea just kind of was always there, and she was like a big part into it. And that's pretty cool. So back when I was doing my research, I did go over, you know, all of your old videos that you still have posted on your channel. Sparks Fly montage. And then the funnies and fails. I was watching some of the funnies and fails, and you had this like little kid on your team very constantly throughout a video. Kind of reminded me of the Winston RP.
Yeah, the little kid.
It's a little kid that would just kept talking out of pocket the entire video.
Is it the one that goes, "Let me pee in your butt"?
Yes,
is that
yes,
what?
Yes.
I don't know why he said that. That's so weird.
He was so out of pocket, but it just kind of reminded me.
Let me pee in your butt. I'm like, what the hell?
It's a little kid. But it's pretty cool. I laughed. Like it's interesting. You kind of always have had like the vision for this kind of entertaining content,
like the funny, the comedy, like the out of pocket stuff. Yeah.
Not to take any credit away from you, because you are incredible. Like, you are also an incredible gamer. You can, you know.
Thank you.
You can probably shut down 80% of the population, no problem. And you know, I respect that. So, but coming into Modern Warfare 2019. Then Warzone finally releases the Verdansk era. How does that journey start? Because you specifically preach a lot about the difference between streaming and content creation. Like, you can be a streamer, but not necessarily a content creator. And then a content creator, someone that specifically works on not only streaming, but also gets content from it, produces content for other platforms.
But you can be a content creator and not be a streamer.
Yeah,
also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how does like, did you start creating content right away when you started streaming again, or did like content just gradually came into
so
everything?
I started streaming again, and then like just moments would happen, and then one of my friends, like somebody on the squad, would be like, "You need to post that." And at the time, like, I'm like, post where? Like, I don't even know my YouTube login or whatever, and like I don't post gaming stuff to my Instagram. Like, so I was late as hell to the TikTok trend. Like, I refused to download it because of how addicting it seemed. So I was like, I do not want to get addicted to TikTok. But then they were like, just get it. So one day I decided to get it. Posted my first TikTok, was probably the worst edit and format ever. But like, if you go back and look at that format compared to the TikTok that I posted this morning, it's like the growth is insane. So like, kind of streaming and getting the content on stream is kind of what led to me to create videos. So that's what I do now. I stream. I barely get content, gaming content, and like just chatting content off stream. I think I have maybe like 2 videos off stream, but like streaming is why I stream, it because it's to get my content.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, and I think it's cool to make that difference, because I've had other guests in the podcast that have different experiences. For example, the first one that I had was Moosey, and Moosey goes back to that era before TikTok, and it was a completely different picture back then. Sure, you could create content, but the only platform available really was YouTube. And then And
Yeah,
then
Vine shut down is only 6 seconds. Yeah.
and I think the Vine gaming content was super rare. Like I
Yeah.
never saw Vine gaming content. I remember the like the classics everybody knows, but other than that, you only had YouTube,
Just YouTube,
and you
yeah.
had to be very lucky. And Twitter, Twitter also always played a big part on like networking and feeding
Yeah.
into your different channels, albeit YouTube or TikTok nowadays, or even streaming. But I just think it's curious to see like the difference between everybody,
Yeah, because it's so easy to stream. You just
Right.
hit the go live button
Yeah.
and you do your thing. But like it takes like a creator to like think in the moment as something's happening and think like, oh, this is a fire TikTok, and like I'm piecing together like parts of it and making it into a video, or like I'm thinking like, oh, let me do this and this because that would fit into like the video that I have in mind. So like as things are happening when I'm streaming, I'm thinking about like how I can chop it up already and put it into a TikTok. And like I'm thinking of like, memes to do and like sound effects to put in and like, the soundtrack that I would use. And it's literally like I'm creating it in my mind as it's happening. And then afterwards I'm physically creating the content.
Right.
So like streaming is just, it's live content for you to view, but you're not really physically creating it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's the formula. It's a formula that has worked for you and many others, because it's the same way for, I've had T on the podcast, I've had Steph on the podcast, and it kind of comes, both ways. Like outside from, maybe you guys have vlog content now, some of you guys at least, because you've had the opportunity to create content outside of gaming. But other than that, it's just kind of feeding, and it's kind of my approach to this podcast as well. It's like, hey, I record this, I post it, and it creates content for me that can go into short form content, and it's kind of like a circle. I saw this interview a few days ago. I don't remember who was talking. That was mentioned. It mentioned how easy it is to, whatever type of long form content that you do, kind of goes full circle when you take it out of, the bits and pieces that you take out. And as you mentioned, you're building it in your head. You know what you did, what happened in the stream or in the video that you're recording, feeds into short form content feeds into your long form content, and it just creates kind of this circle, right?
So look, this is what I do as things are happening. I have a notepad on my phone.
Genius.
And I say like, let me put it closer. And it's like, edit this, like put this and this together, and it's like just my little idea thing. But I also want to add that I feel like you can label it more as like, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like you're capturing the content rather than, creating it when you're like streaming and stuff.
My light just died.
And you're like physically going out. No, you're good. And you're physically going out and getting the content. But then afterwards is where the hard work comes in, when you're creating it, You're creating the content, the video.
Yeah. True. Because I don't know. I think it does.
Right now, we're getting content.
Of course,
we're
yeah, exactly.
But it's not content unless you make it into a video and people are gonna see it.
Yeah, exactly. I think but it comes with its challenges too. Like it comes with, I can grab pieces of our conversation today and just cut it into a little piece, put some captions on it and post it, and it might just not go anywhere. Like it comes with challenges as well. And one of those is just identifying how to build an audience, and I think that comes with trial and error, like through time, through 100%. posting different types of stuff. You're gonna see, hey, maybe this topic. Then again, I'm into this podcast because that's what I'm focused on right now. And as I mentioned before we started this conversation, this started because I want to get more information or more tips myself on how I can go on this journey of like becoming a content creator. But I thought it would be cool to share it with the world, and that way I can take bits of this conversation, for example, that I think are relevant for an audience that I am to build in the future, or building, because I do actually have I'm actually excited because this has grown exponentially episode by episode, and it's exciting because I've been applying kind of some of the tips that some of the people have been giving me, and I can see how, like, you know, I just almost said word in Spanish, but I can see like the reward instantly, you know, like I can see,
Yeah.
not and it's not like that. I understand that 100%. I understand that maybe like it's the excitement because it's something new, and then, you know, I'm also working with whoever my guest is. They want to see their favorite streamer or content creator, like.
But yes, you see, it becomes addicting when you see numbers.
Yeah.
So that's why it becomes an obsession.
Yes.
And it's like you get like excited, and it's like adrenaline, like when you get like happy brain chemicals when you see like numbers go up and stuff. So that's what like pretty much keeps me going. It's like it's an obsession, and it's like the love for it and like reaching people. It like makes me happy.
So that's the motivation. But what happens when maybe I think at this point in your career, it might not be as like, it might not hit as hard as it used to in the past, because maybe when you're having...
it still does. I get so happy when it's like, yes, 100K.
No,
yes.
but I mean the opposite. Like, what happens when you have a good run, right? Like you've posted your RP videos recently, which is like the new hot thing in your channel, and everybody's kind of looking at it, and it's done. I think it's done really well. But what happens, for example, this is an example, let's say a year ago, when you had a good run, and then all of a sudden it just dips, you know, like.
So speaking of good running and dipping, Facebook is actually fucking me up right now. Like Facebook, I gained like 120,000 followers in the matter of like 2 months, and algorithm was pushing my shit crazy. In the last like 3-4 weeks, I guess some of my content got flagged for like violating community guidelines, and I appealed everything, and they said like, oh, our bad, like it was our mistake, carry on.
Yeah, but the algorithm kind of...
I'm still getting punished. They're still withholding my content and not pushing it out. So I was getting 100,000 to like 5 million views. I would say the average view I was getting was like 80,000 per video. You can go back and it's like I have back-to-back millions, and I have like 100K, 500K, 700K. Now in the past 2-3 weeks, I'm getting 1,000 to 10,000 views. Is like, I would say like 8,000 is average. It's so bad. So like, I'm upset about it, but at the same time, like, what can I do? Like, my other platforms are doing good, but like it's kind of depressing. It's kind of like, why am I posting anyway? Like, this is good content. Nobody's gonna see it. Like, I'm upset about it. Like, what's the point of posting? But like, I just gotta think back to when I wasn't getting that many views and say like, oh, like people are gonna see it eventually. I just gotta keep posting. So it's always, I always think about that illustration with the miner. I know like when he's digging, the one on top turns away at the really thin wall, and there's diamonds behind it. Yeah, that's what I always think. So
and has it always been that way? Like, for example, let's say, I think a year ago you weren't even, like a year and a half ago, you weren't even posting to Instagram yet. I don't think.
No,
maybe like very.
I tried
like,
to keep it separate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, back then when you were, because I also want to point this out. I've been a part of I've been looking at your journey since February of 2022. So that's like a year and a half at this point. And since then, you have grown. So like I don't know what happened. I think like after Caught Next last year, you just had that spike of like motivation and started pumping out content. So like such good content that you kind of like, I think you tripled everything in the matter of like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like it was absurd. But back then, I'm talking about like maybe, you know, like before June last year, or before Caught Next, when you were still like, you were already doing it full time, but you hadn't had that like big boom yet. Because I think now your name is out there. Like, I don't think
when I first moved to Florida and I first decided to like be a full time, because back when I was living at home in 2022, like right before I moved, or was it 2022? No, 2020, whatever. Right before I moved to Florida and I was still living at home, I was still working like a bar job on the weekend. So I would do like streaming and creating weekdays, and then I would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a bar. So I was still getting like hours in at another job. But when I moved to Florida, I was literally full time. And I told myself, like, if I can't keep myself financially like okay to where I'm not losing money, then I'll get like a job down here. But I like didn't want to give up my hours doing this to like focus on something else. So I don't even know. I was going through it, like personal problems, financial problems, just like content. Like I was putting out content, but it was just like, it was kind of like stale kind of for me. So then I just kept going. Like it was the only, like I was on a downward spiral, if I'm being completely honest. Like I don't know, I was just in a routine, but it was just like my mental was going down because I wasn't something that I was like really enjoying. And I was struggling. Yo, nobody knows this. Everybody thinks that streamers got like such good money and they make bank, but like I was struggling. I was barely getting by. Like rent, groceries, my utilities aren't included, and like clothing, food, whatever, things for stream. I literally, like, thank God I had the support of like some friends and everybody like on stream, because literally like people that care about me literally kept me afloat. So I do not want to let them down, literally. People that would like support me, just want to see me win, I keep that in the back of my head. I'm just like, I gotta keep going. But then out of nowhere, I got reached out to by Call of Duty, and then they wanted to, fly me out and stuff. So like I was like, oh my God, like I'm doing something right. Like I'm reaching people, like they want to see me put out more Call of Duty content. So then that's when I was like, I gotta keep going. Like that was another motivation. And then COD Next happened, and TwitchCon happened, and the content was just like really good, and everybody loved it. Numbers were doing good. And then, I think the routine aspect of everything just keeps me going. So
okay, so that's your thing.
Numbers.
Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah,
like,
routine.
Like sticking.
If I'm off routine, I'm fucked up. Like I can't function.
Okay. That's interesting. Me personally, I have trouble finding a routine. I get bored really quick. My ADHD just doesn't let me like sit through.
That's why you gotta like switch it up every once in a while. Like I know I get like into these moods where I'm just like, I need something different. Like I need to get out the house. So like instead of waking up, my daily routine is waking up, gym, after gym, do any routines like grocery shopping, like, get anything that I need, laundry, cooking, cleaning up the house a little bit, editing, and then streaming. And then after streaming, I would just like, if I need to edit, I would edit, or I would just like, take it easy.
Right.
But if I feel like I need to do something else, like I take a day off, I go to the pool, I get some sun, I go out to the park and I run, I go to the beach, I make plans with friends, I, switch it up. Because if your mental health isn't right, then your content is going to reflect that. And I feel like now that I'm happy and I have a routine, like my content is just like improving and I'm growing, and I'm putting in the passion to learn new things and like expand.
That's cool.
I'm doing what I love now.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I actually want to go back. I want to backpedal because we've kind of talked about all of the main topics, like without even me mentioning the question itself, which is pretty cool. But I want to backtrack a little bit more than again to the start. When this is interesting, and I think this is gonna kind of flow differently. When you decided to move out full time, like to move, I don't know if you decided to, because you did say you decided to move, and then kind of you had planned to support yourself with like maybe a part-time or something like while you were here, while you were there, sorry, in Florida. But we talked about like back in the day when we started college and all that, we kind of got talked out of the gaming thing.
Mhm.
How different was it this time around when you told your parents like, hey, maybe I want to explore this further?
So, money has a big
Money talks.
thing
Money talks.
with parents. They're like, is this sustainable? Like, are you gonna be able to do this long term? Da, 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 da. And when I told my parents like I want to move, I honestly didn't. I mentioned that I wanted to, but I didn't tell them that I applied for an apartment out of state. So when I told them I got approved, then my mom was like on my ass about shit. But I remember one day my dad sat me down. Like, I don't think he sat me down. I think we were just in the living room and he just brought it up. But he was saying like, is this really what you want to do? Like, he made me cry, bro, because he was like, is this really what you want to do? And I was like, yes, like it makes me happy. This is literally what I've done since when I was little. So it's familiar. Like I regret, like one of my biggest regrets was quitting and like going to college just because my parents wanted me to. I didn't even know what major I wanted to do. I switched my major 2 years. I just literally just picked something that I was mildly interested in, but I had literally had no passion behind it. I didn't want to learn about it. So like my grades didn't start out great, but when I switched major, I was like, okay, I guess this is easier. So I'll just keep going. Cause I went from bio to criminal justice, which is like crazy easier. So I just graduated. But crying to my dad, I think that's what made my parents understand that that's really what I wanted to do. So then they supported me. But my mom was iffy because I wasn't making that much from streaming. And streaming isn't the only form of income you need to get to full time, especially in the beginning. Some streamers, yes, because they have the income that from their subs and, donos and because they're huge. But like starting off, like brand deals and sponsorships and partnerships are like what kept me afloat. So I kind of just stacked up my money from my other jobs because I was working 2 jobs when I first started streaming after COVID. And then I quit one and was just doing the bar. But I stacked up my money and I would kind of fall back on my savings when my monthly paycheck from Twitch wasn't really doing me good. So I was kind of like I was just afloat. I was floating, but I wasn't swimming.
Right.
So just recently in the past, like maybe like 8, 9 months, I started getting deals and sponsorships and, just offers and stuff. And streaming obviously took off too. So that's what.
Well, there's a lot of options now too, because I don't know. Have you qualified for the Twitter thing, the monetization thing? So
are you kidding me?
Hey, I don't know.
Me, the impression farmer?
Listen, the impression farming has been out of control on my timeline lately, and it's rough, especially with you know what? I'm not even gonna go into it, but I don't want to mention that name in here, but anyway, okay, so you have that now. You also have other opportunities like the creator program from TikTok, which I don't know if it completely works because I've seen a lot of people complain about like
it actually just hit with that recent RP. I mean, it was hitting, like it was
getting something.
I'm like, this isn't special.
Yeah.
Because my videos get between like 20 to 50K usually with the creator program. But the creator program, you need your TikToks to be like a minute minimum. I'm so used to quick edits for TikTok. I kind of had to like learn how to just drag it on a little bit to meet the minute mark. And I only have like 5 to 6 minute TikToks that qualify for the creative program. But when it hits and you get the views on the minute TikToks, it hits.
Oh, you did. These last couple.
No, like the money hits like per view.
Okay.
once
Oh,
you hit
okay.
algorithm.
Because you also
Yeah.
have like a
That's it.
CPM
Yeah.
like YouTube kind of thing. But my camera's going like orange for some reason.
It looks fine to me.
Yeah, on my OBS it kind of goes weird. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that. TikTok doesn't.
Yeah, now there's like a bunch of different incomes. Like,
Yeah.
I know Instagram and Facebook, they cut their bonus
Yep.
program. So I lost 2 forms of income from that.
You were
And
doing
the
really good on
Facebook-
Instagram at one point, right? Like,
Still am.
no, but I mean, when they had the program to like monetize.
No, I was just like maybe like $100
Okay,
per
well,
a month, but like that was still like $100. You know what I'm saying?
And it's eyes to the stream, so like, yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah. So they cut their program, so that was out. TikTok wasn't really great. You know, if you don't get like million views, it's like whatever. So then there's stars on Facebook and Instagram or whatever, and like donations and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's also ads on your content on Facebook, so that's there. Now there's a creator program. Now there's monetization on YouTube and Twitter, and there's just like different forms of income you can get from being a content creator. And there's like people pay you for ads, people are doing pay you for sponsored streams, and it's just like you have to be your own boss and go after those opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
Those incomes. Yeah.
I think that's also cool nowadays compared to, because when you started this 10 plus years ago, like when you first started creating content, because then again, I think you also had a notion of what this was when you started again. Like you already knew that you liked doing it because you did it in the past. But back then we only did it for passion, man. And
there was no money involved.
Yeah, I think it still has to come from there, you know, like it has to come from a place of like, hey, I'm not doing this because I see these big streamers and these big internet personalities doing a lot of money because they get a ton of views. It's not that easy. Like,
yeah, it's really not.
I have kind of preached, because it's the mindset that I have and that I need to have in order to kind of convince myself that this is worth it. But I think this is something that, yes, it is achievable for everyone. Because
not everyone.
I was gonna go, yeah, there might be a caveat, because you do have to be entertaining. Your content needs to be interesting. Like people need to want to watch it. Because unless they watch it, there's nothing there, you know. But I think this is something that is a lot easier and achievable for a lot of people to a certain extent. There is talent required. Not everybody has that.
I feel like there's more.
There's luck involved.
What you think?
I'm sure.
Discipline. There's
I'm sure. Yes.
There's entertainment aspect. There's.
Correct. I was just gonna go there. Like it is achievable, yes. However, there's a lot behind it, and it's a very sacrificed like choice. Like it doesn't just come out of thin air. Like it's not that I'm gonna play and I have fun with my friends and I'm gonna post it online and wow, you know, like I'm successful.
Yeah, so I actually don't agree with you. I don't think everyone can do it.
Okay. That's cool.
If you want it personally, you're gonna get it because you're gonna do anything that you can in your power to get it. A lot of people don't have that drive, and they don't have, you know, the adaptability that is required in the content creation world to like do it. You know what I'm saying? Because content changes, things change.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's it happened to you. Like you've stayed. Your content is not the same you made 2 months ago.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna say it. You know, Modern Warfare 2 is pretty shit.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Content for about like a month or two was so dry, stale. I just lost all motivation to create content, but I would still post things.
My OBS just kind of. All right, here we go. There we go. Thank you.
You want me to repeat myself?
Yes, please.
So about 2 months ago, my content was just, it was just there. Like I would just post it just to post.
Yep.
So I would just like, hopefully somebody, you know, I thought it was like, okay, that's why I posted it, but I didn't think it was like great. And I literally just didn't love what I was posting. So I kind of just found ways to make my content interesting by playing other games. You know, I didn't touch any, you know, battle royale for like, which is all I knew for like 3-4 months. And then I started doing, you know, I found other ways to, you know, entertain myself and my audience by doing like e-dates, and I would, you know, do just chatting, and I would play like single player campaign stuff, and I just found ways to make it interesting. So I made my content more about me, rather than the game that I was playing.
And I think that's I think that is what kind of singles out successful people.
I think that's what a lot of people lack. They think that they need to play one game.
It's like, I need to be good at the game and have these amazing clips and make my content about this, or like, you know, it's most people are there because of what they see in the person that's in front of the screen. And I think that you have proven that over the years, because like whatever you've done, I think your community has followed with, you know, like good reception, you know, like everybody's there because they enjoy what you do, whatever you do. And when I say that I think this is achievable, I don't mean like, oh, that everyone can do it. Sure, like I could want to do it, but if I don't put in the work, I don't put in the hours, I don't, you know, like I don't chase it with the hunger that like I either do this, like I either go all in or I don't go, it's not gonna work out. And that is the way of things. That is the way of things in this. I believe that 100%. Like if I don't
you froze for a hot minute. I was like, can you hear me?
Yeah, you froze too. I'm looking at you. I'm like, you got frozen in a frame that looked a little weird. I'm like, she probably hates what I'm saying right now. But anyway, but you
better cut that part out.
Oh yeah, I definitely gotta do a little bit of touching up on this one. But yeah, you are the prime example. And I think it's been a part of the whole story and the whole picture that you've painted today, that it's sacrifices, and it takes a lot of it takes a lot of putting your 110% into it, because sometimes 100% it's not enough, and I think it's a career path that will bleed you dry, and you have to live with that and make peace with the fact that it's you have to stay on go mode to stay relevant, and that's how the internet works.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like it won't bleed you dry if you're in it for the wrong reasons. Like it will bleed you dry if you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. But
because if you only do it for, you know, the numbers and the money and like the attention, it's gonna get to your head. But if you actually like love it and you want to do it and you're excited to do it, then it makes you happy. So you're gonna keep doing it.
It feeds back like into your brain, and it eventually comes full circle. But well, I think this has been an interesting discussion. I don't want to make this longer than it needs to be, because I know your time is money. And you don't have a lot of free time. You're a grinder. So let me move on to the saucy part.
Saucy.
Nicari.
Saucy.
Do you have anything in the work? Okay, you have a couple of things coming up soon that I'm very excited about, because, you know, then again, I'm a stalker and I have no life, and I know Nicari's life more than mine. No, I'm joking. You're going to London. Very soon.
Next week.
Yeah, you're gonna be in London, so I'm looking forward to the content that's gonna be there, because then again, you are known in the Warzone scene. I think last month you ranked in the top 20, was it?
Top 10.
Top 10? Look at that. Top 10 of female Warzone streamers, and I think you are very known throughout the community, so you you're gonna have options over there. We're gonna see you've been hanging out with a lot of UK people recently, and
Yeah,
I'm
so I'll be
pretty
on
sure.
I'll be on two people's. I already have two streams lined up.
Cool.
Two people that I'm gonna be a guest on.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'm gonna stream from one of their setups, and then I'm gonna be a guest on one of. Well, actually, we'll probably do more than one stream. So one on my stream, and then one on his stream,
All right.
and then I'm gonna be a guest on another stream.
Keeping
And
that a
then
secret,
yeah,
or
I'm
do you
gonna be
want to say any
vlogging.
names?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything
Okay,
yet
cool,
because
cool.
it's
That's
gonna be
cool.
like
That's
surprise.
That's perfectly fine.
But I'm gonna be vlogging the whole World Series event. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because if the Cotnex and the TwitchCon from last year gave us anything to like kind of, you know, deep on what Nicari's life is like when she's at these big events, I think it's very exciting.
I actually slacked. I dead ass. I don't know why I didn't vlog at TwitchCon, but I should have. But I think I was kind of
I know
like,
your
was
didn't
kinda
your audio
shy.
died. Didn't your audio died as well? Like on one of these events, like the audio.
Oh,
in
the
your camera?
first COD Next, the first COD Next that I went to, my microphone wasn't working.
Yeah.
But I ordered an external mic. Well, this camera right here I'm gonna use for vlogging.
Yep.
I just ordered, that one works, but I just ordered a new mic, so
That's cool.
wireless.
That
It's gonna be
is-
good quality.
Yeah, that is cool. Suggestion as someone that works with cameras, please play test with it a lot, so you know, like the little the little things, you know, the little quirks of every device. Because then again, very excited for that. And then after that, you're going to Cotnex again. You're going to Cotnex again
in
this year.
October. Yes, I'll be vlogging that too, and then I'll be streaming from the event. I'll be streaming Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone gameplay.
So excited. I'm actually so excited because, well, you already played it, so you know more than anyone. I know you can't say anything about it, but for some reason I said I was never gonna be excited Call of Duty game again, and here I am, just excited.
It's a cycle.
Yeah,
It's a cycle.
excited again.
They reel you in.
So it's like, yeah, they gave you all these promises and stuff, and now I'm excited again because I'm gonna say it once more.
Hey, but Sledgehammer Games, they know what they're doing.
They
okay?
they saw
I'ma
the
say.
opportunity to gain back a lot of their audience with the things that Infinity Ward just completely ignored.
They literally said, "You Infinity Ward, we're gonna do it right this time."
and Infinity Ward.
You better bleep out all these curse words.
Yeah. I try not to curse on this, but this one I gotta put some work into, especially for TikTok. I mean, for YouTube, it's kind of okay, but for TikTok, I definitely put them out. And what was I gonna say? Oh, is there anything like beyond these two events that you have coming up? Anything else that maybe you have in the works that maybe we can expect from you in the future?
There is. I just spoke to someone. Well, I just spoke to two people today. When I'm in LA, I might be doing a collab with a former Call of Duty player who is now doing really big things in another area of content. I don't want to say who it is yet because it's not like solidified. But then also people that I went to college with also just started a podcast, and they're going to do a stream during Christmas, like a Christmas party stream, whatever. So I'll probably be there in Jersey around Christmas time. But other than that, that's about it. That's all I got planned this year.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing you with your, you said they had a podcast, right? And that, you know, like, I think that would be a different Nicari than the Nicari we know, because I don't know, it's people that you've known for longer, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
for
but
that.
I also haven't seen them in like 3 years, so
yeah, but maybe we'll get a little bit of like high school memories, Nicari type of thing, you know, like back in the devious child era.
Oh my god, they knew me during my partying era.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. Because all we know is like gym Nicari, stay at home Nicari, you know, like
homebody, homebody.
But excited to kind of update that no context page. But anyway, very excited for you in the future. Yeah, if you didn't know, Nicari had the genius idea of making a no context page. It's hilarious.
It wasn't actually my idea. It was somebody else's idea, but I'm like, let me just make the page so nobody else can make it and like embarrass me. I'll let my, people that I know and my mods embarrass me.
And
So.
we have a lot of fun doing it. But anyway, Nicari, I'm very excited for your future. You have a lot of great things incoming. You are the hardest worker I know, and that comes from a mom that raised 2 children. That comes from a son of a mother that raised 2 children in a third world country. She works really hard, and I think you top that at times.
That's crazy.
I'm not down talking my mom.
Yeah, but content.
But you
this world is
you
very
live for this. Yeah, you live, breathe, and eat content.
I wake up, get on socials, reply to comments, post, wait for people to start commenting. Then I literally spend hours a day replying to comments.
Your
engagement.
Your gears are grinding 24/7, and I think the only moment you're not thinking about, not even like, I was gonna say like maybe like the gym or like, no, because you dream about this shit.
I post at the gym.
That's what I was gonna say, is like you be posting
in
at the
between
gym.
sets.
I know. So it's like, bro, when I know you dream about this. So like you wake up in the middle of the night and
I wake
like,
up with TikTok ideas.
I know,
I'm like, where
I know.
the fuck did this come from?
So it's like you're an inspiration to me and to many, and I'm grateful to be a witness to this experience and this journey. Before we go, Nicari, I've asked this to everyone, so I want to change it up somehow. What are the 3 pillars of, no context, just like name them. What are the 3 pillars of that rule your life as a content creator?
Wait, what do you mean by that? Rule my life?
Yeah, like the 3 big things that are a part of your life that continue to push you to create content.
That push me to do content. I feel like, I don't know, the feedback that I get from people is like the number one motivate. I mean, not motivator, but like reason why I do it, because I like making people happy and I like making people laugh. Like I like the attention that my content gets. Not even me. Like I just like seeing my videos, the numbers go up, and like the people laughing in the comments and stuff.
Okay, so
and like
feedback is valid. Yeah, feedback is valid. So for example, just to give you an example, and if I was to answer this in like a photography perspective, because I do that, I'd say I love the numbers. I love watching people like my photos. I really like, I really enjoy that, and I love. Second of all, I'm a geek, so I love camera gear. Like I love looking at cameras and seeing what they do and watching reviews online and trying them out when I have the opportunity to try them out. So that would be a second thing. And a third thing would be, I don't know. I as an adult have trouble making friends, so I use photography as a way of meeting new people and meeting new interesting. So those are like my 3 big things. So
I think my second one would be the people that I get to make content with.
Okay.
And the people that I meet, because it's always exciting to like see what I can create with others and not just myself, because the content I can create with others, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. There's like endless possibilities because
exactly.
There's different minds that go into it,
Yeah.
And the third, I don't know. It's just fun. Like
it's fun. Have fun. That's valid.
It's fun. Yeah.
Enjoying it is very important, because if you don't enjoy the content you're putting out, I don't think other people are going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's important.
If I don't laugh while I'm editing or watching it over, I'm not posting it.
Yeah. Okay. That's very cool. So it's gonna be feedback, the opportunities with other people, and having fun, enjoying your own content, having fun. So that is pretty cool. Nicari, then again, thank you so much for accompanying me today. You've been a pleasure to talk to. It's always a pleasure to share some time with you. We don't do that enough. And
because routine.
You're busy.
You're too busy.
I'm not
in Discord.
I'm not putting it out on you, but I appreciate you for your time today. I think it's been a very
I appreciate you for having me.
Tuishis talk. and we'll see how the end of the year treats you with the things that you have coming up. If any goodbye messages, anything you want to leave out, link yourself.
I'm so
you know,
bad
like,
at this.
okay, I'm gonna do it for you then. If you don't follow Nicari on any platform, please, she's everywhere. Like any platform you can think of.
Literally, except for Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat.
Snapchat is for children. Uninstall that. Anyway, anyway, if you don't follow Nicari, you can find her on every single platform as Nicari, except for Instagram, where it's Nicari, and
I
then
think
you can
Twitter, TikTok too,
TikTok as well.
and
Okay.
YouTube. It's just search my name, it'll come up.
Nicari will come up, I promise you. And
Yeah.
you know, if it's not Nicari, you can try it's Nicari, so ITS and Nicari next to it. And then she also has other content from Switch is more Nicari, both on YouTube and I think TikTok, right? So I'm gonna plug everything on the description on YouTube and Spotify. I don't think you can do that on Apple Podcasts, but if you can, I will as well. And well, myself and the podcast, you can follow me at Robonomy. The links are going to be at the bottom as well. This has been Unmotivated episode 04. Nicari, audience, thank you so much. I'll catch you guys next Wednesday. Bye.
Solid.